Hello, welcome to episode 4, can't believe we're there already, of Mastering the Marketing Game with me, Kelly. So last week's episode we covered quite a lot. We delved into the S of a SOSTAC, talked about a SWOT analysis. Today what I'm going to do is talk more about situational analysis, the S of SOSTAC, because there is quite a few more parts to it, of course. So today I'm going to talk about customer insights, market trends, and competitor analysis. All of these are really important pillars of a wider marketing plan. Let's break this one down, starting with customer insights. So the first thing you're going to want to do with customer insights is really ask yourself the question whether you know your audience or not. That's a really important part of a wider marketing plan. If you don't understand your audience before you start, then all of your messaging, potentially even a product that you're coming up with, is not going to hit that target market. Marketing isn't just about selling, it's about solving problems for real people. The better you understand your audience, the stronger your strategy will be. So to apply that to right now, in the world that we are, and very linked to marketing, Kantar's latest research shows that 93% of consumers want to live more sustainably. So a brand that aligns with this mindset is going to build stronger connections. So you're going to want to know how to gather customer insights. Very good question. So there's 3 areas that I'm going to talk about today, which is part of customer insights, and that is surveys and interviews, social listening, and behavioural trends. So let's get started with surveys and interviews first. So this is all about talking to your customer directly and answering the question, what do they need and what frustrates them? Doing this is a really good part of a wider customer insights project because it allows you to find what the pain points of your customers are, and if you find something that you could potentially create a product for or a service for, you are then solving a problem for a real person. So what I thought would be best for me to do to talk about surveys and in customer interviews is to share some of the top tools that you can use in order to help you gather this research. So your research may take various different forms. You might want it to be a face-to-face, you might want it to be in a form, you might want it to be over the telephone, you might want it to be a question and answer after a customer's bought a product, so you could link up with your customer sales team if you've got one. There's varying different ways that you can do this. I'm just going to list out a couple of tools that you can use to create surveys. Some of them are free, some of them aren't, obviously. So the first one and the free one is Google Forms. So this is a great tool to use for creating simple surveys, and it's great for getting quick feedback. Typeforms is another one. This offers a sleek and conventional format to improve response rates. Another one, which I believe is also free, SurveyMonkey. This is ideal for detailed customer research. It includes AI-powered insights. Now this one you can really dig into the analytics of this, so that would be my first recommendation, SurveyMonkey. Another one you could use is Jotform. Personally, I've not used this one before. I believe it's a drag and drop form builder, so quite easy again, very similar to SurveyMonkey if it is a drag and drop format. Not sure if that one is free. I'll just touch upon customer interviews lightly because that's not something that I've delved into a huge amount in my career so far. There's various ways that you can go about doing customer interviews. Maybe you like to do them on a one-to-one basis. However, I know a lot of companies and a lot of teams have switched over to the likes of Teams. So finding little platforms that you can plug in to platforms that you already use to analyze your data is a really good tool. So just a few to mention are Dovetail, which is a customer research hub. It helps you organize qualitative insights from interview surveys and feedback. Another one is Lookback. This is live customer testing and feedback. So if you have got a budget to do a lot of testing, this is a really good tool to use. It does real-time product testing, so you can be on a call with a participant for testing, and it will analyze where the pain points are for them through their user journey. Another one, user testing, very similar. It lets you watch in real time users interact with your brand and give feedback. Moving on to social listening. This might be a term you've never heard of before. It's very new to me. So social listening is a process of tracking, analysing and responding to conversations happening about your brand, your industry, competitors or specific keywords across your social media and digital platforms. So engaging with a really strong social listening plan allows companies and brands and marketeers to really understand what their customers are saying, how they're feeling and why it matters. This ultimately gives brands a strategic edge. Unlike social monitoring, which just tracks mentions, social listening dives deeper to analyse customer sentiment, emerging trends and opportunities for engagement. So again, I'm just going to mention some top tools to use for social listening. Brandwatch, which is AI-powered insights from millions of sources, including social, forums and blogs. The next is Hootsuite, which probably a lot of people have heard of. This tracks brand mentions, competitor performance and trends in real time. Another one you may have heard of, Sprout Social, combines social listening with analytics and audience engagement. So the last one, as part of customer insights, is tracking behavioural trends. So this is really important because you need to truly connect with your audience so you can understand their behaviour, like what they do, why they do it, and how their actions are going to impact your marketing strategy. So I'm just going to talk about the best tools to analyse behavioural trends across websites, social media, customer journeys and purchases. So the first one I'm sure many of you have heard of, Google Analytics, or GA4, which we're currently at. This tracks how users navigate through your site, including what page they're looking at, how long for, what the bounce rates are, and what the conversion paths are. Another one to use is called Hotjar. This is new to me, I've not used it before. However, this offers heat maps, session recordings, and on-site surveys to show how users interact with your website. So they're all tools to use to track customers that were already coming to your website. So what you want to do is extend that to look at customers that you could potentially pull to your website. So tracking on behavioural trends is going to allow you to widen your circle with key terms that you use, or maybe you find something in the research that you think, I've got the perfect product for that audience, brilliant. So the way to look at that research, the consumer research, is to use tools such as Google Trends. This shows search behaviour shifts over time, helps you stay ahead of audience interests. Another one that I mentioned earlier, Dovetail. This tool can also help you analyse qualitative research, interviews, survey data, and it helps you deepen your understanding of your audience. So I've delved quite a lot into that first one, customer insights, just because it's quite a massive part of a wider marketing plan. So what I'm going to do now is touch upon market trends and competitor analysis. So market trends first, and this is where you really need to understand what's happening in your industry right now. So markets are consistently evolving, and brands that stay ahead of trends will always win the long game. So you really need to ask yourself, what is shaping 2025 and beyond? Two of the key trends to watch right now, which I've already mentioned in this video and the previous one, is AI in marketing and sustainability. So AI in marketing, 68% of marketers feel positive about AI. However, 43% of consumers distrust AI generated ads. So that's a really difficult one to know how to navigate. I think the key thing to take away from that is transparency is key. Building trust in your audience, if you are creating AI generated content, is going to be the key. You need to be as clear and as consistent and transparent as possible. So the key takeaway from the market trends section really is, don't just follow trends, adapt them to your business. You don't just want to be somebody who copies another company and reacts to their new brand or their new product or new service. You really want to understand your audience and find a niche gap. This is where you'll be able to really capitalise on that. Next area I'm just going to touch upon quickly before we bring this to a close is competitor analysis. So this is where you need to understand what your competition is up to. As I've just mentioned, trying to find gaps in the market is all about understanding what's going on around you and your business and in your market. By understanding their strengths and weaknesses, this will give you the strategic advantage. So there's a few things that you need to do to have a very well-rounded competitor analysis. So the first is you need to identify your direct and indirect competitors. Who are the top players in your space and who is gaining traction? And next, you need to analyse their strengths and weaknesses. What are they doing better than you? And where are the gaps that you could potentially fill? Next, monitor their content and campaigns. What are they investing in? Are they getting creators? Are they having live streams? Are they in the retail media? Where are they investing in? Next, check their audience engagement. What's working for them and what's being ignored? I know a lot of channels that we use on social media. Obviously, it's only the profile owner that can see these analytics, but you can get a really good vibe of if it's engaging or not, if somebody's liked it or commented on it or shared it. And lastly, compare pricing and offering. Really understand if they are undercutting you or adding more value. You really need to make sure that your pricing is competitive and within the same ballpark as all of your competitors who offer a similar service or product. If you undercut people by a lot, you might find yourself in a situation where you'll get a lot of traffic when you come into the market, but after time, people will realise there's a reason for that. Equally, you don't want to overprice yourself because you'll find you won't have a lot of traffic. You might have a really good product and you might feel that your price is justified, but if your competitors are able to offer a very similar legitimate product or service, they will consistently undercut you. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed it and I hope you've learnt something. So what we've touched upon today is understanding your audience, staying ahead of market shifts and learning from your competitors, but don't follow, lead. Next week, I'm going to talk about the O of SOSTAC, objectives. So I will see you then. And in the meantime, have a great weekend.